And John, that's an important issue for clients, and it's a drum I've been beating for a long time. And it's for long-term savers. We're in a world today of what we call financial repression, incredibly low interest rates. Okay, in fact, zero interest rates at the short end. And what that means is that investing money into sort of a safe asset that will not bounce around, putting it into a savings account, putting it into a GIC, even most government bonds portfolios today, those are all earning negative real interest rates, which means when you say real interest rates, what is the level of interest rate you're getting after inflation? What's happening to the purchasing power of your money? And even if you're thinking of inflation, it still runs about 2% long term. So forget, the big prints we're seeing now, the 4s, 5s, 6s. Those are not. That's not the long-term inflation level. That's just a cyclical bounce. But even 2%. If you're putting your money into like the Canadian 10-year bond at 1.4% says you're going to lose money in purchasing power terms of 0.5% a year every single year. And that's where Rip Van Winkle does not wake up happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are in this period, like a lot of us can remember sort of the 80s, the 90s, some of us even the 70s, where government bonds were often giving you sort of 5, 6%, 7, 8. Not many of us remember the 12s and plus. But those were incredibly high levels of interest above the rate of inflation. So government bonds, savings accounts, you put your money in there and it compounded above the rate of inflation. That was fantastic. Today, you have to have different strategies when interest rates are just so low, particularly for those long-term components, because you need to make sure you're going to be compounding above the rate of inflation. And so it's a message I keep beating on. I still think it is the most important factor long-term for Canadian savers today, is making sure you protect your money from inflation. Even if inflation's low, when interest rates are at zero, it's a huge challenge.